Hello, fourth grade friends. Today you're going to need a pencil, red, some sort of red marking tool, your writer's notebook, and your glue stick, as well as the two pages attached. One is an anchor chart and one is a story. So pause the video while you get those printed out, cut out, and glued into your notebook. Alright, we're actually going to start with our story. So go ahead and find your story. We're going to start by just reading through the story first, okay? It's called Goodbye, Molly. Whenever I think back to May 24th, 2017, my heart sinks into my chest and my stomach twists into knots. That was the day my family lost Molly, our golden retriever. We had her since before I was born, so starting that day, I had to learn how to live without my special furry family member. I had just gotten home from school. As usual, Molly was the first to greet me at the door with a slimy kiss. My family was frantically packing for our weekend trip to the beach. I live around the corner from my school, so there were still buses, cars, bikes, and kids walking home as we carried load after load of stuff to the car. Do we really need this much stuff for one weekend? I asked my mom quizzically. You'll be happy we have it when we're there, she replied. After the car was loaded, my dad asked everyone to use the bathroom and to get into our traveling clothes, whatever that means, so that we could skip as much of the Memorial Day traffic as possible. I was ready first and stood by the door. Mom came down, looking from side to side as if she was searching for something. Molly? She asked. Does anyone know where Molly is? Remembering that we had left the door open for a long time while we were packing the car, I bolted out the door, my eyes searching the crowd still leaving school. I spotted my neighbor, Alicia, crossing the street. The first thing I saw was the tears streaming down Alicia's face. Next, I noticed a big ball of golden fluff in her arms. No, I thought, but words failed to come out of my mouth. The next thing I knew, my mom and dad were right behind me, also silent. My dad got up the courage to walk up to Alicia and Molly while my mom asked me to go inside. I can't remember what I did for the next few minutes as I waited for my dad. When my dad came back in, he was carrying Molly. She was limp in his arms. He took her to the laundry room and came back to talk to me. Amber, he started. Molly got hit by a car. She didn't make it. That's when the tears came, warm against my cheeks and pouring out like water from a faucet. We didn't get to go on our trip to the beach that weekend. Instead, we said our goodbyes to Molly. We got another adorable, friendly, and loving dog a year later. However, I still feel like something is missing every time I walk in the door after school and Molly isn't there to greet me. I will always miss her, but I've learned how my memories with her can make me happy, that I had so much time with her instead of being sad so that she's gone. So, in our sad story about losing Molly, we notice that the author leaves a lot of blanks between our spots. Why does the author do that? The author wrote them into our story into a lot of smaller chunks that we call paragraphs. It gives the reader a chance to pause, to slow down, and to keep the writing organized and nice and neat. So now we're going to look at our anchor chart. So think through, how do writers know when to write new paragraphs? They kind of follow through with their writing stories, and they use these 4 guidelines to know when they should start a paragraph. The first one is anytime someone new starts talking, they know they need a new paragraph. Anytime some new character starts talking that isn't already talking. Another reason is when the setting changes, when the characters change from place to place. Or the third reason, when time moves forward, okay, it moves forward. Or number 4, a new character is introduced, somebody new is introduced. Using these 4 guidelines, you can keep this handy while you're looking. Let's look through our story and think through what those reasons could be. Let's think from right here, from this paragraph to the start of this one. We're going to use the first sentence or so to help us figure out what the reason is. I had just gotten home from school. Well, that sounds like they're changing location. So changing location, changing the setting, would be a 2. So we're going to put a 2 there. Now I notice here, somebody's talking, right, with those quotes. So somebody talking would be a number 1. So we're going to put a number 1 there. What about this one? What's the reason for a new paragraph here? Well, Mom's replying, so that one's also a 1. What about this one? After the car was loaded, time has moved forward, right? They finally got the car loaded, so we're going to do a 3. Now, I was ready first and stood by the door. Time has moved forward even more, right? They're all done. They're ready. Okay. Now, remembering that we left the door open for a long time while we packed the car, I bolted out the door, my eyes searching the crowd still leaving school. So this one's a little tricky, but I noticed that she bolted out. She's leaving the house. So that's a change in setting. So this should be a 2. The next thing I knew, my mom and dad were right behind me, also silent. So nobody's talking. Our setting hasn't changed. There's no new characters. But time has moved forward because the next thing that she knows. So a 3. When my dad came back in, though, he's changing location, right? So that's a 2. Amber, he started. Oh, it's got those quotes. So number 1, somebody's talking. So we need a new paragraph. We didn't get to go on our beach trip that weekend. So this one's talking about time moving forward, right? What did they do? They said their goodbyes instead. And then this last one, we kind of had a little debate in class. We said it could either be a 3. They moved forward a year later, or a 4. A new character, the new puppy, was introduced. So that one we said could have 2 reasons. Okay? So that's what we did. I'm going to show you one more thing. When you're editing your writing, what you're going to do today is you're going to go through and make paragraphs out of your story. You might not have done that already. To do this, you're going to use that red coloring supply that you have. And you're going to make 2 lines next to each other. You're going to come to the top of that very left one, and then you're going to make it look like a P. This means I need this to be its own paragraph. I'm going to skip some lines so I can tell it's different than the story. I want it to be a new paragraph. And it's okay if it's really short, like these ones, where it doesn't go out super far. If you need a new paragraph, you need a new paragraph. Use those 4 reasons in your anchor chart to help you know if you need a new paragraph or not. So what you're going to do for the rest of writing time, you're going to determine where you need new paragraphs in your story. You're going to add that double-lined P to show, and that red pen's going to really stark your eye when we're going to rewrite it. So that way we know, oh yeah, I need a new paragraph here. I need to skip some lines. Okay? So think through. Is somebody new talking? Do I need a new paragraph? Has my setting changed? Has time moved on? Or am I introducing a new character? Think through those 4 reasons and just add that P in your red writing utensil to know if we need to go on or not. So that's all we have. So make sure you get to your story split into paragraphs. And I will talk to you soon.